What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live Morning Show edition, and I think we've got a topic for you guys all today. As we all know, this is going to be a big game of this upcoming weekend. Dallas versus Detroit. You know what happened last year at the end of the game, and to be fair, the last few times we played, they've had some pretty dang good games. Yes, last year we all probably had a hard time going to sleep after that game because of the circumstances of the 2-point conversion, going for it again, the refs jobbing us, everything in between. A lot of different details for that game just didn't sit right with Lions fans. Probably the national media have said, yes, thanks. We've got something to talk about for a few days. And we heard from the NFL. We heard from the officials. We heard from Timbuktu about how the Lions were wrong to go for 2-point conversions, that, hey, this guy should have reported in a better manner, all the things in between. But let's also face some facts. When the schedule came out and we saw that we were at Dallas yet again, we all were circling this game. We're all talking about it. And yes, coaches, front office individuals, the parking lot guy, and the players for the Lions all want a little bit of payback. They want to go down there. Dan Skipper probably wants to drop a big elbow down on Jerry Jones and all things in between. But what's going to happen is we're going to have a pretty dang good matchups between one of the premier teams in the NFL, the Detroit Lions, and a team that used to be the premier team in the NFL. That's the Dallas Cowboys. As you can see from the thumbnail for this one, we're going to dive into some things that Jerry Jones has said this week, kind of slapping Detroit in the face. And you can tell when somebody's being replaced, it's a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people start getting kind of, jittery, kind of antsy, kind of, they're not always the politest of people. And it seems like that's what's happening with Jerry Jones as he sees perhaps Detroit Lions stealing some of his thunder, stealing some of his spotlight. And anybody who's watched the NFL for any kind of length of time probably knows one thing about Jerry Jones. He wants a spotlight. He wants it on him, not you. All right, before we get into that, though, and a couple other things real quick here, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Making that march for 8,200 subs, and we're about 50 away. So if you would be so kind, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, and also hit that subscribe button. We try to get each video to 200, 300, or more thumbs ups or likes. So if you can help out with that, that would be great. And really, from the bottom of my heart, thanks for all you guys do for the show and the channel. Last but never least, if you are considering looking for something to read, perhaps either now or in the future, consider going to Amazon.com or wherever you shop for your reading literature and search for Kajora book. It is the first in a 9-part series. The second book is released next year. So if you like historical fiction, and this was specifically about Japanese and Native American cultures intermingling and developing. So check it out, see what your thoughts, and if you like it, when you're done reading it, consider leaving a kind review for it. All right, with all those formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the first segment of the show. The first one is, as you guys probably already know, 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines now. We've done a little bit of going behind enemy lines with this one. We went down to check out a lot of the newspapers and media outlets, we can say, from Texas, see what they're saying. We did have some Detroit-based ones too, but try to do a little bit here and there with it. All right, 4 stats to know for the Detroit Lions-Dallas matchup impact on Sunday's game. Sports Not, the story by Matt Johnson. And I do not know Sportsnet. I've never heard of them before, but I did check them out. And, hey, they had some thoughts on it. So they do a deep dive analyzation of basically what's going on with the Detroit Lions and how is that going to impact everything going on with the Dallas Cowboys. As you guys know, there are a lot of injuries on both sides of the line, and I got to make sure I always say that because it seems like teams only want to focus on their injuries and they never point out the Detroit Lions injuries. All right, let's get into this one, though. 10 is the number. Dallas Cowboys opponents averaging 4+ yards per carry, 100 plus yards per game in the last 15. So there are 10 games out of the last 15 games where Dallas Cowboys have given up 4+ yards per carry and 100 yards rushing. That's probably a pretty good setup, you would think, for the Detroit Lions, a team that wants to pound you on the ground, put it on there with Montgomery and Gibbs, get all over you, and beat up your defensive front seven. I think the Lions have got an outstanding matchup this week. I think we can all agree they're probably salivating at the idea of getting out there and grinding the ball down the Cowboys' throats, setting up what does Jared Goff do best? Play action pass. How do you set up play action pass? You have a strong running game, and if you can do that early, that's going to put a lot of weight on the secondary for the Dallas Cowboys to have to play in the box a little bit more. And if you have to come up, especially with that 8-man front or drop, maybe even a 9th guy into the box, play action pass for someone like Jameson Williams or Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to look pretty delicious if you're Jared Goff. All right, 4.33. This is CeeDee Lamb's yards per route run versus man coverage. Now, why do we point this out? Guess what? The Detroit Lions like to run more than any team in the league. If you said man-to-man defense, you would be outstandingly correct. It's been a slow start to the 2024 season for CeeDee Lamb, who became one of the highest paid players in the NFL this past season. Heading into Sunday's matchup with the Cowboys, wideout ranks 9th in receiving yards at 378, 15th in receptions with just 25, and 23rd in receiving touchdowns with 2. However, Week 6 could provide a matchup for a bounce-back season. According to Pro Football Focus, Lamb's average the second highest yards per route at 4.33 in the NFL, just behind Justin Jefferson. I'm going to say this. I'm not sure who the Lions are going to put on CeeDee Lamb. My guess is Carlton Davis. And Carlton Davis, if you ask me, against the Seattle Seahawks, he played his best game of the season. If you watch his ability to stick with DK Metcalf, among other people, he played pretty sticky. There was the one blown coverage in the first quarter and allowed CeeDee Lamb to go free. But you know what? The safety over the top, Kirby Joseph in this case, also was out of position. So he had 2 guys who gave up one big play. So it happens. All right, 70.3 is the next number. Jared Goff's QB rating versus pressure. It's a tale as old as one of the biggest reasons why Jared Goff has statistically been one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the NFL over the last 2 years. Goff has always struggled versus pressure, ranking near the bottom of the league in NFL ratings and TD versus INT under the when under duress. In a clean pocket, behind one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, he thrives. Jared Goff's stats versus pressure versus from Pro Football Focus, 70.3 rating, 0 big-time throw rate, 2.2 turnover-worthy plays rate, 63.5 completion rate, 7.3 yards per average, and 1-2 TD to touchdown ratio. Jared Goff versus a clean pocket, according to Pro Football Focus, though, is a little different. 104.4 QB rating, 3.3 big-time throw rate. And I don't ask me what that is, man. I just don't know. 4.2 turnover-worthy plays and 73.6 completion rate, 8.5 yards per average, and 4-2 touchdowns to interception ratio. So there is a marketable difference, but I would also throw this at Pro Football Focus. If you Scooby-Doo it and look at the numbers, the last 2 seasons, Jared Goff versus the Blitz is a top 5 NFL quarterback. So make no mistakes about it. I think the onus is really going to be on this game, the Cowboys D, especially since we know Lawrence is going to be out there. Micah Parsons doesn't seem like he's going to be out there. If he is out there, he's probably really only playing on one leg. The Cowboys are probably going to have to blitz a lot to get after Goff and to try to contain the Lions' running game. If that happens, that means a play-action pass, something that Jared Goff does very well as beating the blitz. You know, this could be a field day for the Lions passing offense. See, 27, pressures allowed this season by the Dallas Cowboys offensive tackles. That is correct. 27 pressures is among the worst in the league. Once a strength of this team, the Cowboys' offensive line is taking a massive step backward in 2024, while the interior is holding up fairly well. Rookie left tackle Tyler Guyton and veteran right tackle Terrence Steele have had massive issues in pass protection this season. Needless to say, that's a problem against Detroit. I think we all get that. If you can't pass block against the Lions, you're probably in a real bad way. Aiden Hutchinson, who has played roughly 70% of his snaps lined up against the right tackle in the last 2 weeks, enters Sunday leading the NFL in sacks at 6.5, even coming off the bye week. So let that sit in. Even though everybody's had an extra game on him, he's still the NFL leader. He also leads all edge rushers in ESPN's pass rush win rate at 34%. Steele, who Hutchinson will primarily line up against, has allowed the 7th most pressures, 14, among starting offensive tackles, and 8th most in sacks with 3. Guyton, who is questionable with a knee injury, has allowed the 2nd most sacks, 4 this season, and Dallas will need extra help in order to keep Dak Prescott clean. All right, with that one out of the way, and that was a very long one, but hopefully you guys liked it. Let's go on to the next one of the day. Detroit Lions versus Dallas Cowboys. Picks, predictions, odds. Who wins the NFL Week 6 game? This is from the Arizona Republic, Jeremy Cuff. So let's get over to that. And, hey, I think we all get it. The Lions are probably going to get most of the people's views on winning this game. But figured we'd go behind the enemy lines. We'd talk to, or at least get some thoughts from the Arizona Republic, also some Dallas Morning Star, etc. So in their picks, Arizona Republic says Detroit Lions 31, the Dallas Cowboys 20. Probably a lot of people are going to like that one. Bookies.com bet the Lions to cover versus the Cowboys. That they don't give a score, but that is what they say. And I've never heard of bookies.com, but apparently that's a thing. Sporting Betting Dime. That's a outlet, by the way. Detroit Lions 31, Cowboys. I don't get this one. They got 21.2. So I'm not exactly sure where the 0.2 comes from, but hey, you guys who do sports betting probably understand that better than me. ESPN has Lions have a 58.6 chance to beat the Cowboys on Sunday. I'm actually surprised they have it that low. I would have thought it would be more like 65 or something, but I guess you're splitting hairs. Dimers has the Cowboys winning 25-24. And yes, before you ask me, they are a Dallas brand out there, so I can understand why they're picking the Cowboys to beat the Lions on that one. So it is what it is. One other prediction site, let's see, I think I had it scrolled up here. The El Paso Times has the Lions winning 28-23. I think there might have been somebody else there. Yep, maybe that's it. All right, so that's it for the predictions on that one. Let's get to the next of the 5 headlines now. Deron Bland, injury update. Stephen Jones updates Cowboys cornerback status versus Lions. This is from The Athletic, and it sounds like he has some potential to play this week. It would be his first game of the season. You all probably remember him. He led the league in interceptions a season ago. If he goes this week, having not played the rest of the season, my guess is it's on a limited basis, but there is some potential for him to get on the field. Before you ask, there is no official status on Micah Parsons, but they are saying he's trending upwards. Whether it's a head coach, Jerry Jones, or whoever in between, nobody is being specific whether or not they think he can play. To me, that's probably a large indication that he's not quite healthy yet. So even if he gets on the field, what do you really get out of him? I guess they can give him the secret sauce to try to get him, some numbness in the leg, and especially the ankle area, the high ankle sprain, to try to get him through a quarter or two. But you'd have to re-up him at halftime. I don't know if I'd be gambling somebody's potential season-long injury if you really flare it up and make it worse. So if I'm the Cowboys, and this isn't because I'm a Lions fan or anything, but I don't know if I would risk somebody's season over one game. We'll see what they do, though. All right, last of the 5 headlines now. Detroit Lions' known ground game is vital to success against the banged-up Cowboys. This is from MLive.com by Ben Raven, Mr. Nevermore himself. And I think anybody who's a Lions fan totally gets this. If you're the Lions, you're probably on first down, second down, third down, fourth down, fifth down. You're running the ball on the Cowboys. You're going to keep beating them up and setting up, as we've talked about before, play action pass. The Cowboys are going to have to blitz to stop the run and get to the quarterback, in my opinion. I just don't see their front holding up that well. Doesn't mean they can't get stops, but I think overall, throughout the course of the game, you are going to have to use a lot of what Tampa Bay did. you're going to have to blitz run gaps to try to stop the running backs. But if you do that too much, and the Lions, who seem to be trending upwards on offense, are a little bit more settled in now than they were week 2 against Tampa Bay, you're really exposing a secondary for Dallas that doesn't appear to be at 100%. So now, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta, or whoever else is out there, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, do they have some very favorable matchups to do some real damage in the passing game? I guess we'll wait and see. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to now the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day. You saw in the thumbnail. Now here we go with it. And Jerry Jones wants the Dallas Cowboys to be America's team. There's no doubt about it. Jerry Jones is that type of individual. He thinks all cameras, all radio stations, all social media should be on him at all times. And if you've watched the Cowboys for any length of time, whether it's decades or days, you probably picked up on that pretty quick. If you're Jerry Jones and you look up north and you see what's going on with the Detroit Lions the past couple of years, you probably wish that you had Dan Campbell. You probably wish that you had some of this star power. You probably also want to not avoid falling into oblivion. Let's be fair. The Dallas Cowboys, they have snuck out a few wins the last couple of games. And I think while that's great on the win-loss column, Dallas's owner, Jerry Jones, also sees the reality that probably is happening across most of the nation with national media. The Dallas Cowboys are not what they once were, at least don't appear to be. They want to make sure they stay the prime target of all viewing audiences, that they keep all those primetime games that you now see the Lions getting. Jerry Jones very much is looking over with an envious eye at the Detroit Lions, and he took some shots at us this week. He said that, they haven't proved themselves yet. We're still America's team. You can check out the stories, but when you read through them, it's quite clear. Jerry Jones is worried about the Detroit Lions supplanting him. You could see it in last year's playoffs where they did polls every time the Lions advanced in the playoffs, which part of America, or what parts of America, I should say, are paying attention to the Lions versus this team or that team, the rooting guides and such. You could see a nation, other than, I think when he got to the NFC title game, it was basically, if you weren't from that part of California, Southern California with San Francisco, you were rooting for the Detroit Lions. And that seems to be the case more and more this season. It could be because we have a cast of characters, like, let's be fair, Amon-Ra St. Brown, MCDC, we've already mentioned, and amongst other people like Aiden Hutchinson. You go through the entire team and coaching staff, and you have seen the Detroit Lions now become America's team. That doesn't seem to be sitting too well with Jerry Jones, as he wants to come out this week and put a beating on the Detroit Lions for one simple reason. He wants to reestablish his franchise, his program, as being America's team. A big loss, especially if the Lions put a big slapping down on them, on the Dallas Cowboys, and win convincingly, that probably shows a shifting of the guard, and Jerry Jones doesn't want that. Jerry Jones came out and said, you know what, hey, they've been lucky in a couple of their games. I can't believe he actually said that on his radio show that he puts on every week. I get he's getting a little older, probably cares less what everybody thinks, but he also wants everybody to watch him. So when he said something like that, where, hey, they've been lucky a couple games, I think we've got a real good chance to beat them. We are America's team. They are not. I think he's taking direct shots at the Detroit Lions and showing how worried he is about the Detroit Lions supplanting them as America's team. All right, we've got about 12 minutes to Matt Lear from mlive.com hops on. So let's go ahead and get over to the Duke Crew and get to you guys before we see Mighty Matt in the chat. So let me scroll up to the top of the screen and get to the Duke Crew. Michael D, greetings and salutations, coach and Duke Crew. Superdome, Super Bowl, one pride. Woo, woo, and good morning to you too. Jason, greetings and salutations from Playa del Carmen. I tried starting the Lions Talk Live podcast here in Mexico for Dan, but it didn't pay so well. All right, gotcha. Superdome or bust. And thanks for that, Jason. It's nice to know LTL travels across the planet. See, Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Slap Happy Jerry is getting scared. I think he is, man. I see Super Bowl. Woo! And the other part of it is, probably should have mentioned this, but Jerry Jones wants to win another Super Bowl. Obviously, he's had very little success in that regard since the 90s. Father Time is not kind to any of us. I think he is worried about the Lions, potentially being one of the teams that could hold the Cowboys from achieving that goal in the next couple of years. So I get it. He's not happy by any stretch. All right, Clark. Hey. The Cowboys aren't going to know what hit them. Jones does not like someone else stealing his team's thunder. Yes, I would agree with that. And yeah, I know I kind of already talked about it, but yeah, Jerry Jones wants that camera on him at all times, and it looks like it's leaving him more and more on a week-to-week basis as other teams kind of emerge. And the Cowboys, while they've got some wins, they haven't been the prettiest of wins. All right, Jason, Jerry Jones will start cleaning house if we come there and continue what our offense has started. Yeah, I think if the Cowboys don't get some wins here, and again against Detroit too, then they're in a real bad spot because you know what? I think they've got a payroll that isn't the greatest for them. Man, they've really spent a lot of money. They've gone basically all in, as they like to say, for this particular season and maybe next year. They need to get some wins, and they need them now. See, Big Eddie, greetings and salutations all. This one has been circled on my schedule for a long time. Yeah, I get that. I'm just a fan. I can only imagine what the players and coaches are feeling heading into this. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. The players have got to be chomping at the bit for this one. I think it's going to be very much like a playoff field between these two teams. Because when Detroit comes in wanting that game that way, I'm guessing the Cowboys innately will pick up on that. If they may have circled it too. Hey, we didn't luck out last year. You lucked out and being in the game. That might be their mantra. But yeah, I think it's going to be a playoff heavyweight matchup. Hookadoo. Good morning, Dan and the Dew Crew! Exclamation points. Hey, Jerry, Hurricane Detroit Lions is heading to the Dallas Cowgirls. Woo! Yes, and that will be a big game. Thankfully, the hurricane is not going to affect Dallas or Louisiana. So, but yeah, again, thoughts and prayers. I know we mentioned it every show this week, but thoughts and prayers to all down in Florida. Man, if you haven't evacuated by now, I hope you have, or get out of there some way, somehow, because I know it's gone a little bit more south this morning from what Jen told me in the news. It's still powerful. Yeah, there's a lot of spots of Florida they didn't think they were going to get that bad. They're about to get hit. So, again, thoughts and prayers. I'd say, Bo, now for something totally different. Robert Saleh getting fired by the Jets is further proof MCDC was the right choice. I don't think at this point anybody questions the hiring of MCDC. I will say this for Robert Saleh. I thought he actually did a pretty good job. But with that also being said, I'm talking about the defense. That defense played real well. Yes, he's got a lot of good parts. I think, man, he really got, it would be my guess in time, maybe 10 years from now or something like that, we'll find out that Aaron Rodgers played a big part in the supplanting of Robert Saleh. So thoughts and prayers to him, man. And the fact that he got escorted out by security, man, I thought that was kind of over the top. He let the guy come in thinking he was good to go that day. He gets in his office. The owner comes in, fires him. Security drags him out of there. I don't know, man. That doesn't sit well with me, but that's me. All right, France, good day all. Laughing out loud. I prefer when all of the games were at 1 p.m. your time because it was so much easier to watch. Sunday's game will start after 10 p.m. here. Laughing out loud makes for a long day on Monday. Well, man, get your extra strength Mountain Dew, and you'll be right as rain come Monday morning. Johnny L., good morning, everybody, and have a good hump day. 100%, Johnny. Hopefully you're having a great day, my friend. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Tigers today and Dallas Sunday. This is going to be a great week for Detroit sports. Yeah, I almost want to try to go out tonight and watch part of the Tigers game. Probably not all of it, but probably like the last 5 innings or so. Because you know what? They are one of the biggest stories in sports. What they have done, I hope they keep everything going. And yes, all eyes on Dallas after that. See, Tori, we got good morning, Dew Crew. Let's all keep Florida in our thoughts. Just watch the news, and it's looking real bad for everyone down there. Yes, it is, man. And again, if you're staying there trying to ride it out, get safe, man. Get right. Thoughts and prayers to you guys. I give you credit if you're trying to ride this thing out. See, Jason, Jerry Jones is better about passing up on Laporta and Branch in the 2023 draft. There's probably a whole lot of truth to that. When you prove that your scouting department is better than theirs, you know what? Shots will be fired. Amy, good morning, Dan and the Dew Crew! Exclamation point. I think we need to hit it hard and score early and rack up a total that will be unsurmountable by Dallas. Every player reporting needs to do it in a loud and proud. Yeah, I don't think they'll mess around with that in any way, shape, or form again. If they do something where they're reporting, they're going to make it glaringly obvious. I would also say this. Do you do it and then intentionally go to somebody else just to spite him or whatever? I think, man, if I'm Detroit, every time I go for something on a certain play, I'm probably am reporting just to point a finger at the Dallas and the NFL. Johnny L. Stephanie, yes, it is. I'll go with that. Trey, what's good all? Question mark. I don't know. How about you this morning? Hopefully it's a good one. Trey, Tori Apple, yes. Sending all the love I can that way. Stay safe. Yes, in Florida, stay safe, my friends. Hatman, good morning, Dan, the man, and the Duke crew. Woo! And good morning to you too, Hatman. Hopefully you're having a great morning. Johnny, Thunder and Lightning, there's going to be a whole lot of that down there in Dallas on Sunday. See, AJ, good morning all. Coach, are you doing a live stream for Sunday? I don't know yet. It's not that I don't like doing the live streams. It's just it makes for a long day, with doing the morning show and the post-game show. So I'll let you guys know. But, the other part is, I don't know. Let me think about it. Hatman, hey, Dan, who keeps those woos low levels today? Don't want to scare off my dear. I'll try to do what I can for you, Hatman. So I'll keep the volumes down. Phil, greetings and salutations back at you. Papa Noel, good morning to you all and to you. Phil, why is it Jerry is always in the spotlight? Because my thought is, Phil, Jerry Jones wants to be in the spotlight all the time. Amy, Tori Apple, let's definitely Florida in our hearts. I can only imagine getting hit a second time so closely to the first hurricane. I delivered truckloads of water down there. And you can't believe it. Yeah, what they're about to go through, man. I can't even imagine, man. If you're staying there and trying to ride this thing out, your second hurricane in a couple weeks, yeah, you're braver than me, man. Quentin, greetings, salutations. Everybody's, we got to stop that passing of Dallas. We do that, and we're going to win this game easy. I think they're going to struggle to run the ball on us for sure. As far as their defense, I'd like to believe the Lions have a favorable matchup offensively going down there trying to perform, especially since they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this. But if you stop the Dallas passing attack, you keep Dak in check and CeeDee Lamb, I think you're right, Quentin. I think you got a pretty good matchup here. Johnny L., he bought the spotlight. He did indeed. Voltron, Phil, because Jones wants the spotlight on him at all times. That is probably true. Mike the Marine Gunny, howdy, Dan and Duke Crew. Sounds like Brad is kicking the tires on a few options. Keep the updates coming. Love the show and thumbs. Hey, thanks for that, man. Woo! And good woo to you too there, Gunny. As far as the videos, I get it, man. Some people love them. Some people hate them. According to the YouTube analytics on them, the ones I did yesterday, over 90% of you guys end up liking them. I get when you put out something, saying, hey, ESPN's talking about a potential trade and everything. It's not going to, for whatever reason, it doesn't work for everybody. I can only point out so many times, this isn't my story. This is from an ESPN reporter, but somehow that doesn't sit well with people. Hey, you're all free to have your own opinions. I hope you like it. I just do what I can to keep you guys entertained, keep you informed, and up to date. See, but thanks for that, Gunny. Phil, is it his team or him? I think it's him, myself. And I don't know him personally, but just watching him over the decades, I think it's Jerry Jones 100%. All right, got a couple more minutes here until we bring on our special guest of the day. So, all right, Jedi Sith, good morning all. At Mike the Marine Gunny, Brand is always putting in work. I wonder if he ever leaves the building. That's a good question. I don't know if he does too often. Johnny L, all the above. I'll go with that. Mike the Marine Gunny, good point. And maybe Brad, a few burner phones too. Yes, he maybe has a few burner phones as well. So, Smolong, Coach, give me a woo. You want a woo? I'll give you a woo. 1, 2, 3. Woo-tastic morning. All right, Matthew, greetings and salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Sheila likes a woo in her fresh morning dew. You know what? What the heck, man? You never have enough woos in your morning. Johnny L. Sheila, Phil, any news on a Dew Crew tailgate? We tried to set one up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers games, but I only heard from like 2 people. So if you guys do want to, if you guys want to have a Dew Crew tailgate at a game, let me know. We can definitely set one up, but let me know and we'll try to coordinate with everybody. Johnny L, can I get a Sheila woo? Man, we are wooing it up in here. Ask it, he shall receive, my friend. Johnny L, Phil, I don't know. Dominic, good morning from Texas. Never mess with Texas. Lone Star Beer, by the way. And good morning, Dominic. Moonscar, running late today, exclamation point. Good morning, Duke Crew starting lineup. Detroit versus everybody in every bias. The more things change, the more they stay the same. You are 100% right with that, my friend. And hey, glad to see you this morning. See, Robert, greetings and salutations. Same to you. Tay-Man, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Tay-Man. How you doing? Hetman, everyone in Florida, our thoughts and prayers are with you and all those affected by Helen, and are continuing with our thoughts and prayers. 100%. Yeah, it's. I think we've got like less than 12 hours till it hits. So, man, if you haven't gotten out, if you can get out, if you're going to ride it out, man, just be safe as best you can. You guys know more about that stuff than I do. All right, it's about that time to bring forth the rhythm and rhyme and bring over our special guest of the day. Mighty Matt, how you doing this morning?
What an entrance, Dan. My goodness. I do feel special this morning. I feel great. I feel alive. It's a Wednesday out here. The Lions are 4-1 or 3-1, excuse me. And let's go to Dallas, baby. Let's get that revenge.
I like you forecasting the future, telling everybody ahead of time what the script has. A 4-1 start to the season for the Lions, so I like it. Let's talk about this. Last year's game ended. I think we all know there was a lot of controversy how it ended. You've covered sports for eons now with M Live. What are your thoughts on the players, the coaches, their mindset going into this weekend?
Oh man, it's just they've got to be so excited for this opportunity. They got to be chomping at the bit, especially after last year, how it ended, and just how they feel like they got hosed out of the game. Obviously, the officiating and Decker reporting and all that stuff. And that game was theirs, and they got it taken away from them. So this is a get back game, and with the way the Cowboys have looked this year, the injuries that they have, their lack of running game, this feels like a game that we can certainly go in and make the statement and prove that, listen, hey, we're legitimate Super Bowl contenders, and Jerry Jones is going to be crying after this one.
So let's talk about Jerry Jones real quick, because the thumbnail for this particular video is the fact that Jerry Jones, took some shots at Detroit, took some slaps at him and he's got his own radio show that he does once a week down in Dallas. Talks about how Detroit isn't America's team. It's Dallas. Dallas is the team to beat. Just says, hey, they've got some lucky wins this year. They shouldn't have them. How do you take that when you hear an owner talking that way about a team?
Oh, it fires you up. I mean, obviously, the Cowboys have so much history, but what have they had, since Jerry Jones has been in ownership? I mean, it hasn't gotten them over the top, man. And it's just the way these teams are trending. Listen, Dallas, they had their window. I feel like they had one of the most powerful offensive lines, and about 5 years ago, they had a great running game, but some of those pieces are gone. And I mean, they're working with a washed up Ezekiel Elliott and a guy named Ricky Dowdle. So I don't know. It seems like they're leaning the other way. Detroit's, they've got all the young talent. This is their window. This is their opportunity. This is for the city, and this is for Detroit. And man, I couldn't, not agree. I could disagree more with that statement, because it's just so untrue. We're at two different levels, and we're about to show it.
I think you're spot on with that, especially when you talk about the fact that we all get it, man. NFL lore, history, Dallas Cowboys have been near the top for most of it. They've been something that the NFL has really embraced, because they've been something that's a brand recognition that could travel across the planet, not just the United States. But now that seems to be changing a little bit, and it does seem like more and more people are aware of the Detroit Lions, whether it's just the individual personalities. Do you think if the Lions go out here and win this game, that it's another reason to start thinking Detroit is now America's team?
Yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't love to root for Detroit? You hear it all over the media and all over, the analysts these days, and the broadcasters, they're pulling for Detroit, man. And that's just so awesome to hear, because we've been down for so long, and people really want to see us shine, and they know that we have a complete team. There really isn't much of a weakness, going on. We have the skill players. We have the great offense. Our defense is much improved. And it's all from players that are 25 and under. Like this is our time, And there's just so much more momentum, coming into this season, just knowing that where we were last year, it's just obviously right on the doorstep. And man, it's just cool to be a Detroit Lions fan and be a part of this, for the first time really in my lifetime, Dan. I mean, it's been, a couple years for you too. I'm not going to, go into it there, but it's just awesome, man. I can't get enough of it. It's not just the Detroit Lions. We got to shout out the Detroit Tigers a little bit and what they did.
Absolutely.
A couple of days ago. Kerry Carpenter in the top of the ninth, 3-run bomb, baby. I mean, that was electric. It's giving me goosebumps right now. Just being a Detroit sports fan right now is just absolutely amazing, man.
Now, so I'm going to guess Tigers win this series and win the World Series. They'll be making a Disney movie or something about it, and they'll probably have something about that Carpenter shot because, man, 2 outs, 2 guys on, you got nearly a full count, and you could tell as soon as he hit that thing from his body language. It's like the camera guy doesn't even have to show the ball. That thing's gone.
His helmet's flying off. He's just puffing his chest around the bases. And this is a team, we got to think about this. This is a team 26th in payroll in the MLB. We have a combined payroll that was less than that guy that we took out of the game in Houston. I can't even remember the reliever's name, but he's getting more money by himself in the entire Detroit Tigers team this year. That is just absolutely insane. This is a Moneyball movie, man.
Money, you're not wrong, because I know their entire payroll is less than 19 million, and I'm guessing, I'm going to guess Cleveland's probably got 2 or 3, maybe 4 guys making that or more. But anyways, getting back to the Detroit Lions. So, hey, we'll have by the way, at 8:00 today, we'll be debuting Tigers Talk Live. So, hey, if anybody wants to tune in for that one. But getting back to the Detroit Lions, here's a question for you as a reporter. We all get it. Everybody goes with headlines. Everybody goes with thoughts. But it seems like whenever we face a team, part of the headlines are how many injuries that team has. But yet nobody seems to really talk about how many injuries the Detroit Lions have. Why do you think that is?
That's a great question. I think it comes back to just, again, like where the state of the team is at and how the Cowboys injuries really decimates their depth. And I mean, Detroit, Dan's talked about it before. Brad's talked about it before. They prioritize depth. Like they feel like, everybody's going to contribute from the practice squad all the way down on this team because injuries happen. Look, like that's part of the game. And you need those next players to step up. And that's where we've been building this thing. Like we have been prepared for these kind of moments. Marcus Davenport goes down. Frank Ragnow goes down. Brian Branch goes down. We got Ennis Rakestraw stepping up. We got Terrion Arnold coming in. Graham Glasgow moves over to center. Like we are prepared for these kind of moments because that's just part of the game. And Dallas, I can't tell you who they're going to have rushing the quarterback this week. Marshawn Nealon and their star Parsons. Micah Parsons is going to be out. So I can't tell you, who's going to be there to rush the quarterback. And that's just speaking to a testament of just where we're at as an organization and where I believe, we have the edge.
I'm agree with you there. I think it's definitely a recipe for the Lions to come out trying to pound the ball at them. I know we were talking about before you got on the air. My guess is Dallas, in order to try to stop the run and get to the quarterback, you're going to have to do a whole lot of blitzing, more than they want to do, which means the Lions are going to have some one-on-one matchups on the outside. Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, St. Brown, etc. If you had to give a guess right now what a score prediction would be for this game, what do you think it's going to be?
Based off of what Detroit did last week, putting up 40-plus points, really kind of dusting the cobwebs off, on the Seahawks on their offense. I think they score. I think it's going to be like a 34-17 kind of ball game.
I'll take that, man.
Yeah, I really do, man. I think, the Lions, and I was talking to a buddy the other day, and, because of the preseason and how it's condensed now, really, I feel like those first four games were just kind of feeling things out. And now
Right.
with what happened with our offense, last week, this is our opportunity to get in rhythm, and really try to, make a move, really show that, we're the team to beat in the NFC North and find our stride. And I hope to see Sam Laporta have a breakout game, man. He's kind of been under the wraps a little bit. And, I would love to see that. Jameson Williams get another, 100 receiving yards and just spread the ball like we have. And man, it was just cool to see, David Montgomery. What is he in his 6th season? And he's bouncing off, Witherspoon last week, putting together arguably one of the greatest runs of the week. And then you get Gibbs in there, and he's running through the tackles with more power these days. It's just fun to watch. And that's what we have to do, at the beginning of this game. Establish the run, give Goff, some space to work with in the play action game, find Amon-Ra over the middle and get this thing rolling like we do, and, show that one pride mentality.
I'm down with that. So one other question for you. There's been more and more talk about the hangover effect that seems to be happening to teams. You face the Detroit Lions, you're going to get waxed the next week. It started with the Rams. Rams come out, hey, we went to overtime with them. The following week, they get just decimated by the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals come out, face us, play a pretty good game. The following week, they get ran over. We play, was it Seattle? And Seattle, while they didn't get blown out or anything, they end up losing to probably a New York Giants team that most people would have guessed would have lost to the Seattle Seahawks by 20 or so points. Instead, it ends up being whatever it was, 6 points or so. Do you think the Detroit Lions are that physical that once you're done playing them, you're probably done the following week too?
Yeah, I mean, the way we've come out and established the run at will, like it's been pretty incredible. After that Tampa Bay game where Jared Goff threw 50 plus passes, I think, the organization, Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, really decided, hey, we got to get back to what we do best. And that's just smash mouth football, running between the tackles, and really using the strength of how we built this thing. And that's up front. And I think, I think the way we've been able to dominate the game and time of possession and just doing whatever we want on the ground game, I'm sure teams get up for that game. Like, that's that, Detroit's coming in. They're one of the teams to beat in the NFL. We got to get up for that game. And then, there is probably, a drop off playing, Seattle. They probably thought, listen, they got one of the worst teams in the NFL coming in, the Giants. Let's just, kind of take the foot off the gas a little bit. We should be able to coast in this game. So, I think the way Detroit's playing these days, just chewing the ball, running it down your throats, it's fun. And I would be worried if you're the opposition, man. You got to stop running back tandem. That's probably the best in the league right now.
I'm down with that. All right, one last question before I let you go. So let's assume that the Lions have a healthy lead late in the fourth quarter. You score a touchdown. Do you just out of spite go for 2?
Oh man, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's prove that, let's put Decker in there. Let's put his both hands up into the sky. Maybe let him do a little dance or something. I don't know, but let's make sure that, and then let's get him the ball too. Let's really get him the ball this time and prove like this is for the city. This is for Detroit. And we're here. We're Super Bowl winners. And there is no question in this game this time. We're going for 2 every time. Screw it. Let's do it.
I would be okay with it. Hey, all right. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself a shout out to everybody where they can find your great works, all your writings and things of that sort.
Oh yeah, definitely. Matthew Ayler, follow me on MLive, mlive.com/staff/MEHLER. You'll find me there. And then you can follow me on X at Matthew Ayler. I'll be tweeting, it's high school football season. So exciting time right now. Teams are fighting for the playoffs. And hey, listen, Dan, you got the team, you're working for, Pawpaw, is one of the best in Division IV right now, unbeaten, ranked, I think, 3rd in the state. And they're a fun team to watch. They got, some really talented ball players on that team. And hey, the basketball season is almost around the corner too. So I'm excited for that. It's my favorite time of year.
So the Pawpaw football coach, I'm sure you notice him. He's not small by any stretch of the imagination. His daughter is, I think she's going to be a 7th grader this year. So his son, who graduated last year, I think now plays at Oklahoma or something like that. I'm hoping she's anywhere near as tall as the son or the dad, because, man, be throwing her the ball inside a little bit. All right, Matt. Matt, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being a part of the show. And we'll have to get you on again here pretty soon.
Hey, I appreciate it as always, Dan. It's always great waking up with the Do Crew. And I got to give you one shout out for the fans at home. Give me 1, 2, 3, and a woo! Let's go. Let's have a great morning, everybody. Dan, I appreciate you.
We'll make it a great morning. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for the woo-tastic woo. So we'll catch you on the next one, Matt.
Take care.
See you now. All right, that was Matt Eller with MLive.com. Thank you for him coming on. Now let's get back over the Do Crew. We got about 14 minutes to go. Brian, what do you got? Good morning. Angry MC DC is not someone I would want to be up against. Lions 38, Cowboys 14, Refs 10. That's probably about accurate there. All right, Bo, I didn't see that about silent and security. That's a terrible thing. Jets owner had 0 class. Yeah, and I'm not sure why. Maybe there's some layer to that story that we are not privy to at this point. But, man, having your head coach come and report for work, he's getting ready for this upcoming week. I didn't think there was any chance of them firing him. I actually thought they played pretty well. You could say, hey, whatever about Aaron Rodgers, but it is what it is. But then to have him escorted out, don't even give him the opportunity to say goodbye to the faculty or his team. Yeah, that as a coach, man, that doesn't sit well with me, but it is what it is. All right, Dave, thanks for JMO for playing better this year. Yeah, he's definitely developing 100%. Larry, good morning. Greetings and salutations. Back at you, Larry. Hopefully it is a great morning, my friend. Courtney, thanks, Coach, for all you do. Exclamation point. Kick back and have nachos and Mountain Dew and enjoy the win. Yeah, if I don't have anything going on, I'll do the live cast. Just so, I enjoy hanging out with you guys and doing the play-by-play. I actually miss calling games. So I'll just let you guys know. I just want to make sure that Jen and the neighbors don't have anything planned. I don't want to make a commitment to you guys and come back and say, just kidding. So I'll let you guys know. Let's see. Matthew Robert Sala paid the price for embarrassing the Jets owner in front of his British and European friends and business acquaintances. He had a lot of people in his suite and to watch the Jets and Rodgers win. Yeah, that I know a lot of people have been speculating on that, and there's probably more to that than any of us realized. It's part of sports. You don't always win, unfortunately, but yes, it could be that it is just that simple, Matthew. So good call on that. Frank, thank Dan, the man with the master plan, best Lions podcast show. True facts, not Lions haters. Go Lions. Hey, you're gonna make some people happy. You're gonna make some people unhappy. As long as you don't mess with my hair, it doesn't matter with me. All right, Scott. Hutch should be AJ Hinch should be manager of the year. If not, the system is rigged. Yeah, I would say what they've done, the turnaround, and the fact that they've won a playoff series, it'd be real hard to beat him out, I would think, especially when you look at the youth of the team, the fact that there really isn't a ton of smart star players. Yeah, I would think the Tigers, AJ Hinch should be a shoo-in for it. Matthew, luckily, we have more level-headed owner. She knows how the NFL works. Yes, I would agree with that. CeeDee Lamb gave us a headache last year, but our secondary wasn't strong. Yes, and a lot of his yards, while he was productive throughout the game, do try to keep in remembrance that one play gave him 92 yards on that touchdown that should have been a safety, but is what it is, man. Is what it is. All right, let's see. Lions Talk Lion fam. Good morning. Good morning to you too. David, versus Cowboys, we need to play power ball and run it. Against Vikings, we need to focus on our speed and make them pay for our defensive online. Okay, I'll go with that. See, Phil, can't hide from 180-mile-per-hour winds. No, you can't, man. I'm not sure what you're going to do if you're down in Florida. So just thoughts and prayers. And not living there, not being versed at it, there's probably things people do that I'm just not privy to. Scott, you were the first to report this possible trade for Walker, so good job for working your ear to the newswire. Yeah, and again, just reiterate, it's not like I had inside information on it. It's just simply what an ESPN reporter, I don't remember his full name at this point, put out there. I found it, I think, by the end of the day, because there were a couple people in yesterday's comments that pointed out that in one story, it was a proposal. In another story, it was what I heard. Another story, it was the teams were in talks. So I don't know if you're splitting hairs with the terminology or whatever. To each their own. I thought it was a good story. And I thought, like I pointed out at the start of that video, that's some outside of the box thinking, whatever it is, because I would not have even remotely have thought about Walker as an option. But once I got thinking about it, I talked about it on air. I thought it made a lot of sense. But I still do question if you'd be able to get him for a couple fourth-round picks. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would be that cheap. See, Trump's 20-24 Detroit over Dallas. All right, well, we'll go with that. Silver Surfer, Jets coach being escorted out by security seems like a poster for a sick society. And I mean all of it, but that's just me. Yeah, I'm surprised. But again, there could be layers to it that maybe we don't know of. Maybe he was a little worked up or something. I mean, in the heat of the moment like that, people sometimes do things that they might not normally do. So maybe that's why they escorted him out. I don't know. Trump's asked Jerry about the busload of hookers and the refs. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, I forgot about that. Right before the Lions playoff game with Matthew Stafford and everything, 2014. Sarge, Jerry has a big ego, size of a dinosaur. Probably a lot of truth there. Johnny L skipped the Jets. I'll concur. Phil, let's see, 134 at landfall. 135 at landfall. But you are right. You can imagine 135 miles per hour sustained wind. Yeah, and it's going to go across. I mean, it's not going to slow down much at all once it hits land just because you got water so quickly behind it. See, Moonscar, what's the over-under on how many fines the Detroit Lions players will get tagged with after this game? Question mark. Seems to keep increasing every week. 6, 7? I'll go with 6 myself. Andrew, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Andrew. How you doing, my friend? Scott, I worry about Arnold if he feels like the refs are zeroing in on him for PI penalties and holding calls. I'm guessing he'll be all right, especially if he watched the London game. He would have watched Sauce Gardner going through basically what Arnold goes through. So if they're going to do it to Sauce, they're going to do it to you as a rookie. Okay, Trump's is not for you. Okay. Let's see. Moonscar, welcome to Lions Talk Live, fam. 100%. JK, bet Tyrion gone, get mauled by the Zebras again. Probably to some degree for sure. But, you're going to have to survive in advance. The refs aren't always going to agree with you. You're not always going to agree with the refs. For the most part, as a coach, I avoid talking to them just because I understand their game's difficult. That being said, last year, there was a game where I expressed myself eloquently for days about that game. We'll put it that way. Let's see, Dave, the prayers for Florida. I lived there many year. A lot of friends and family there, and hopefully they're all out and safe. Trump's pull around after one PI. Pull Arnold after one PI. If you maybe. Let's see, Bo. Depth in this Detroit Lions advantage development is key, and rotation. I like what you always do there. Johnny, David, I have family in Florida. They are in Tunsilville. Okay. Detroit, Big D, what do you got? Leave Arnold alone, guys. The kid has got to grow, no doubt, but he's going to be great by the end of the season. I'll take a PI long as he grows each week, which he has. I am good with it. Yeah, I am too, man. I wouldn't mess with him. I think he is performing better and better. The penalties are going to happen, but like I just said with Sauce Gardner got flags left and right going against him this past weekend in London. So again, if you're going to have Sauce Gardner go through it, probably a lot of other people are going to get flagged as well. Hey, man, Tim Patrick going to ball out Sunday. Dallas won't expect it. Yes, I think he has been a surprise pickup for us. Trump, no, those PRs are going to cost us game. Maybe, but I'm guessing anybody we have in the backfield is going to get called for penalties. I can't think of any cornerback we've had this year who hasn't got PI calls. Hatman, Big D, I agree 100% with you. There you go. Let's see, Frank think FT Cowboys. Okay. Fort Worth Cowboys? I don't know. Let's see, Trump's, you can't have 2 or 3 pass interferences in a game. That's ridiculous. Hey, it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. We'll have to sit Sauce Gardner, too, because I think he had 4. Let's see, Dave, KC thinks that with their dynasty, they deserve to be America's team. Chiefs were America's before the U.S. and its Cowboys. Okay. Trump, skip the reps. I concur. Johnny, you got that right, Frank. Moonscar, skip the refs. Trumps, make Arnold wear boxing gloves. And, that's not a bad idea. Might not be so easy to tackle, though. Let's see, Miles Margaret. Good morning, bro. Fred, good morning, exclamation point. It's a great day to be a Lions fan. One pride, agreed with you, 100%, my friend. Moonscar Blade, Trump's laughing. There we go. Frank the Ting, FT refs, skip the refs. All right. Miles Margaret, thanks, Matt. Bo, Man Bear, I like your longest yard scenario. Yes, hit him hit him low, hit him hard. Yes, indeed. I do remember the original longest yard. Hookadoo, hey, Miles Margaret, I see you pop in earlier. I did. Yes, he did pop in earlier, I think. Fred Taylor Decker has checked in as eligible. I wonder if they do that at the end of the game, if we got a big, comfortable lead and do it out of spite. I would think that'd be kind of hilarious. Sarge, go Tigers. Woo! And good woo to you, too. Johnny L., right on Moonscar. Moonscar, sad as Lions fans, how we all are sitting here thinking, I wonder how we get screwed this year in Dallas, end quote. Like turning the page in a horrible novel. There you go, the horror movie, right? Trumps, if the Lions are going to pick up a defensive end, I wish they would do it sooner than later. It couldn't just be the other teams, because they still have a chance of the playoffs, don't want to part with any guys just yet. That's where I'm thinking it's why nobody's trading yet, because of things. They're all trying to get to the playoffs because they want to stay relevant as long as they can their seasons. See, Dimitri, Kurt Steele, what up, though, Flintstone? What up to you, too, man? Both of you, Flintstones. There we go. Miles Margaret, woo! I'll go with that. Kurt, Lions are going to rip the Cowgirls a new cornhole. Good morning, Dew Crew. Woo! All of the above. And good morning to you, too, Kurt. Dimitri, woo! That's a big woo, by the way. Trump's Dallas refs are clearly crooked as heck. Yes, I would agree. They're probably a little extra cheddar in their wallets. See, Moonscar, coach's younger son is a senior. Monster. Okay, he's a senior this year. I wasn't 100% sure. Monster this year, Dan. His older son graduated a couple years ago. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. It's hard to always keep things in check. See, David, Powerball this week, Speedball next week. All right. Let's see, Kurt. Woo! Lions 49, Cowgirls 17. Skip the refs. I'll go with that. That'd be a great score, by the way. Kurt, what up, though? Dimitri Stewart. Let's see, Great Lakes guy. Good morning, coach and crew. Exclamation point. What do you think the key matchup is this week? I'm going to say the Dallas front seven against the Lions, offense. If they can't slow us down on the ground, they've got zero chance. Man Bear, what was a scuba-tastic? Woo! That was a scuba-tastic woo. I'll go with that. Thank you for that. Derek, keep up the good work. Dan, love your show. Thanks for all that, man. I do what I can to try to make everybody happy, but you guys all know, man, you can't make everybody happy in life. Bo, one play, 90 yards for Lamb. Barnes missed the sack, and our cornerback fell down. I don't see that happening this time. Let's hope not, man. If it does, man, the fix is in. David Lammy got 70 last year. Let's beat that. I'll go with that. Yeah, if we can put up 70 plus, man, that would be a great day for fantasy football people, I'm guessing. Let's see. Kurt, sorry, I couldn't chat more. Busy morning. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Hookadoo, Man Bear, Scooby-Doo. Yes, Scooby-Doo. Trump's, are you better off today versus, yeah, we're not doing that. Nope, not doing that. Let's see. Kurt, see you guys at 8. We'll see you there on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Let's see, Man Bear. Yes, I am. Trump's, okay. Yeah. We're no politics. Yep. Okay. No politics, please. Yep. No politics, please. Trump's, knock it off the politics. Yeah. None of that, man. None of that, or I got to put you in timeout. Okay. Well, hold on. You're right. There we go. All right, timing out. So, all right, getting back to the comment sections. Kurt, Dallas sucks. They really, really suck. Dallas sucks. Sing with me. I'll go with that. Kurt, the refs in the NFL are out of control. Why not make it two-hand touch? It could be coming. Creative ideas. Lions play great in revenue games this year. 32 to 24 Lions. I'll go with that. Ezra Gray, what do you got? Good morning, Dan and the Duke Crew. Same to you, my friend. Make it outstanding one. Hookadoo. Let's see, 34-24 Lions. I'll take anything that's a win. Great Lakes, Jameson Williams should cover fee. There we go. Hetman, Dan, man, where'd you go? Comment, just hold on. Something's happening. All right, there we go. Hetman, Dan, who is your breakout offensive and defensive player for the game? Offense, let's go with, it's hard to call anybody a breakout player, but Let's go with Jameson Williams. I think he's going to get free a couple times. And defensive player, you know what? Let's go with Levi Onwuzurike. Let's just, I think he's due for a big game. Go with that. Great Lakes CD. There you go. Chuck E. Cheese. Morning Coach and Do Crew. Super Bowl. Superdome. Woo! All of the above, my friend. Bo, happy trails, y'all. I'm done and dusted. See you next time. See y'all later. We'll see you then. Great Lakes. You don't pull Arnold, let him cook in the fire. So playoff time, he is ready. I like that idea. Yes, Great Lakes. As long as he plays the run the way he is, especially great tackler. Yeah, I think he's done very well in run defense. Chef looks make watching Detroit football great. Yes, Detroit football has become great. Chuck E. Cheese. I live in Clearwater a couple of years ago. Friends still there. Good luck and prayers. Yes, thoughts and prayers to everybody down in Florida. 100%. Stay safe. Shaft the Lions make watching football great again. Yes, indeed. See, Great Lakes, skip the refs. I say skip the refs indeed. And agreed with that. Dimitri, 30-10. Oh, yeah, we'll go with that. Hook and Do, happy trails. Do Crew, same to you. Great Lakes, they should give signs to every Lions fan that say eligible. I like that idea big time. Cuz, keys to victory, run the ball, play sound defense, and cover CD. Yes, I'd say you're spot on with that. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and get on out of here. If there is some sort of breaking news today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. If you get a free second of time, reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help the channel out a lot. Other than that, take care, be kind to others, do something nice for someone you don't know. We'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.